Today on Till Vacuum Do Us Part. Okay, so the first place we're gonna start today is with these trees. So I ordered this tree for Prime Day and I got it in and I loved it. So I ordered 2 more and the first one came in like this. I sent it back. The second one came in like this. And then is this the third that's come in?
Yeah.
This is the third one that's come in like this. And I had another one that was supposed to show up yesterday that didn't come in. The problem is I love them. I keep sending them back, but they keep coming in broke. So we're actually gonna try to fix it this time because they're not sending me ones that are whole, but I can't find anything else like it. Like, I just love what it looks like. So Chase is gonna try to work some magic with it. I've got so many pots. I bought tons of pots to put all these trees in and I have no trees. But I keep having trees delivered. So someone over on Instagram, I shared this story and they said we may be able to like drill in here and then drill in this side. This is the other half of it. And you're gonna put, what is that?
A little dowel rod?
We're gonna glue it in there. And now if you get up close, you're probably gonna be able to see it. But at this point, I just want this tree. I want them in a few more rooms and I just think they're beautiful. So let's see if we can turn this broken tree into a beautiful tree. We're trying to be very gentle with it because we don't want it to split.
Yeah.
So when you're doing something like this, just like take your time. Don't be in a rush because we don't want to break it anymore. I know it seems a little crazy that I'm fixing a tree that I paid for and it came in broken, but I still got it like half off with Prime Day. And if I were to rebuy this tree, it would cost me more. And if I tried to find something else like it, it's gonna be a whole lot more money. So this is still saving me money, but maybe you have a project in your house you need to work on. Maybe it's something you've owned for a while and your kids broke it, or your husband, or your pets, or maybe even you broke it. And it just needs a little TLC that will always save you money, especially if you love the piece, so keep that in mind.
And give you time to heal. So I wait while you take your time.
So I'm aware this isn't your like typical home project, but I feel like that's what home projects are. Sometimes you just have chores that have to get done, and sometimes it's just fixing things that are broken. And today that's how this is gonna be because I am so sick of sending trees back. Now I'm hoping the one that's coming in late is gonna come in one piece so I end up with 3. But if not, and this works, I want these trees so bad, we're just gonna fix another one. So that's how good these trees are, and that says something. I've had so many people write me on Instagram that they fixed theirs because it's that good of a tree. Like, people are ordering from the link still, even though it might come in broken.
This
like,
is a great price it was a good price for the type of tree you get.
Yeah, it's just, I've looked at like more expensive trees and they just don't look this like romantic and whimsical and flowy. So you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Take your time. I will wait while you take your time. I wait while you.
So in your head, while you're watching this, what's something you can fix in your house that's gonna save you money? Maybe you've even added something to your Amazon cart, but you're like, I actually have it, it just needs to be fixed, and it's something that you can handle. I know not everything we can fix ourselves, but if there's something you can do it and save that money for something else.
For you, I would do whatever. I'll pick you up where you feel you're about to drown.
Round 1, a failed attempt. We're gonna try to get this out.
It snapped off.
It snapped. We're trying to pull it out, but we're gonna try to get it out and drill in deeper because we feel like it should have been in there lower. but it's just kind of a trial and error at this point.
It's kind of stuck. Oh, well, I got pieces of it.
If not, I'm just gonna get some duct tape.
Yeah, we'll just have to tape it somehow.
They make lots of colors in duct tape, right? And I can hide it with like the greenery. Okay, now we're going with plan B, and don't judge me. We're out my garage and it's dirty. He's going to try to saw this. Is that what you're gonna do? Or cut it where it's
just make it
flat. And he's gonna do the same thing with the other side and then try the first method. But it's just so...
There's too many pieces rubbing up against. That won't let the dowel rods connect.
It's like, will not let me focus, but it's just like, there's nothing, there we go. See that? So we're gonna try to get that off and do like a clean break and see if that helps. Now we're about to do this one. And I don't want to lose any branches or leaves, so he's a little concerned. And so am I. There's already not a lot on here, so he's gonna kind of cut right there. If you guys are wondering where my beautiful ivory rug is, I'm not gonna name names. But someone had an accident,
No,
and I couldn't.
accidents
Several.
that were not
Cleanable. I tried everything, so.
Okay.
But I won't name names. And no, it wasn't Jason. He is in the frame, but it was not him.
It was not me.
It's the one acting guilty right now. So I was gonna order another one, and then I decided like, I'm gonna wait it out. I think he's just getting older. If I find one, great. If not, but I picked this up from Amazon, and it's a dog bed rug, and they love it. They're not on it right now, but they typically are. I'm not gonna lie, this tree is taking way longer to fix than I had planned, and I feel like so many projects are that way. The easy projects end up being the hard ones, and then the hard projects that you put off for like years and months and weeks end up being the easy ones. Does anybody else ever have that problem? I feel like it happens to me all the time. So my tip with that is, if you think you have a really hard project, you might just get started, because sometimes it's not as hard as you think it is. The hardest part is just getting going. But like I said, I really wanted this tree, so it's still worth it. We finally figure out how to get it fixed, so stay tuned and you can see how it turns out. Okay, so Chase is still holding it. We got a lot going on. We have two different glues, but I went ahead and grabbed my hot glue gun just because it's gonna dry faster. The Gorilla Glue wasn't gonna dry fast, so what was the second glue? I'm trying to find it.
Loctite glue.
I think I already put it up. So that's drying a little bit faster, but I know my hot glue gun will. So while he's holding this, I'm just going in, and anywhere there's like a crack or an edge, I'm not even showing you guys, sorry. I'm just kind of squeezing it in there so it'll help hold it even faster. I cannot believe we're doing this for a tree we paid full price.
Exactly. Well, we returned 3 of them now, and they keep sending broken ones, so.
I really hope the next one comes in whole, so I have all 3.
I hope so.
Because you might have to do this again.
Oh boy.
Okay guys, it is standing by itself. That's the good news. I can't move it a lot, so I can't do my itch to switch all the time. We still have to pot it, and I still have to fluff it. Do you think it's gonna survive those 2 things?
I'll probably be holding it when we do this.
Okay, so typically I would take it out of this box, but I have a really deep planter and I'd have to fill it up anyways. So I'm just gonna leave it in that But like I said, if I was putting it in a low planter, you would take it out. But it's just gonna help fill the bin. So I have several pots, so I'll show you the ones I have, but I think I know which one I'm gonna use for this one. Okay, so these are two of the pots or planters I bought. I really like the wicker look and I really like the concrete look. So I just have to find trees to go in them. And then this one I actually picked up yesterday. It was only like 20 bucks from Home Goods. Let me see. Yeah, it was 29, I guess, but I love this style. So I'm gonna try the tree in this. And I'm just gonna sit it in there, and then I just take moss and put it over it so you can't see like what's underneath it. This is the tree that I'm actually replacing, and I didn't get more moss, so I'm just gonna use the moss from out of here. But you can tell right here, this is the olive tree from Hobby Lobby, and when I first got it, I seriously loved it. But now that I've seen the Amazon ones, it's just not comparable at all. I'll put them side by side just so you guys can see for yourselves. Here they are side by side. So this one is actually on a paint can, so I even have it like raised up, and this one's not, and this one's still taller. So right there you can just see the like quality up close. Like this is still really pretty, but for not much more, this one's just so much nicer.
What if we got everything together, and wouldn't it be better then? Get more money, less anxiety, more passion, please.
I didn't want this tree to be wobbly at all, especially since it's still like drying. Now once it dried, it seems really good. It seems sturdy. Now I would be careful throwing it in like the back of a truck, but as far as it just sitting in my house and me like sliding it over to vacuum or mop around, it's gonna be fine. But make sure it's secure so it doesn't wobble or lean. So I just took some like Walmart and Target sacks just to make it feel secure. If you have extra like newspapers or magazines or packing material, all of that will work. And then just use the moss for the top so you don't have to buy a ton of moss product. Not that it's super expensive, but you might as well just use all those other bags that you have sitting in your house and then add moss to the top, and it just looks so much nicer and more realistic that way.
What if we got in a van, left for the coast? Wouldn't it be simple then? Find perfect peace.
Now my next tip is anytime you buy a faux tree or plant or flower, anything like that, you're gonna have to fluff it just like you would fluff your Christmas tree. Even if you're buying it from a store, just be sure to fluff all the branches, all the leaves. It's gonna make it look so much better and just more expensive, so take the time to do that.
Better. White knuckles on the way down, but our friends are all around. White knuckles, let it go now.
That definitely took longer than I was expecting it to, but it looks really good. I'm gonna fluff it more later. I was just trying to be very gentle because I don't want it to snap again. But I will say this one's straighter. I don't know if that's just because the way we fixed it, where this one's like curvier. So hopefully the next one that comes in is somewhere in between, because I really like this curve. But so thankful to have this one. The boys are now checking it out. So now I'm gonna figure out if I want this one to go into our guest bedroom or our master. I'm kind of deciding just in case I only end up with two. We decided, since we don't have any guests coming anytime soon, I have time to wait on the other tree and we're in our bedroom every day. I'm gonna go ahead and move this out and we're gonna try it in here, but Chase is nervous about moving it, so he's getting like a roller so we can roll it in. But I'm gonna move this and then we're gonna put the other one in, and you guys can tell me which one you like better, but I think I already know the answer.
Everything's better now, finding my way back somehow.
Just a little decorating hack or tip is, if you're gonna be having these plants or trees in your house, definitely get an oversized pot. I had smaller ones before and it just made them look a lot cheaper versus putting them into these bigger ones. So you can set it on even like a paint can, and so it'll rise it and it'll make your smaller tree look bigger, and then once again just stuff it and then add moss. Or you can put anything underneath it just that you have. If it's like old shoe boxes, whatever, but anything to get it elevated and make it fit that bigger pot is gonna make it look so much nicer and so much more expensive.
White knuckles, let it go now. All
Just so you guys know up close, it's not perfect. You guys can see right there all the hot glue part, but you really don't notice it when you just stand back and you don't know to look for it. So I'm super happy with it. I'm glad we were able to fix it. And I love this pot. They had a ton at my Home Goods, like in my town and a few towns away, and they're all on clearance. So if you guys like that, definitely check out the Home Goods near you or your like TJ Maxx. Now we're gonna head into the kitchen. So when we first moved in, if you guys were following me at that point, we were going more glam. I thought glam was my style. I did glam, and I realized, although I love touches of glam, I'm not like full on glam decor. And I had bought all these crystal knobs, which I love them in like my laundry room and the bathrooms. But in the kitchen, I just feel like it's a little much now that we're going more of like organic, modern. So I got new knobs to put up. I don't have handles yet because these are kind of all different sizes, and I may have to like order them off Amazon or something like that to figure it out. But first I just want to switch the knobs and see if that's good enough, because I kind of like these being clear because it's just not as busy in here. I didn't want to do like all black and just see a ton of black and white. So let's switch these out and see how that looks. This is the knob that I decided to go with. I found them from Home Depot. I went to Lowe's, but they didn't have a ton, and I just thought this was really pretty, and that way it'll still go with like the handles we have. So let's try these out and see what we think. You will be shocked just by switching out hardware, the difference it can make in a space, especially like a kitchen or a bathroom where there's a lot of hardware. It's not that expensive to change out. It's super easy to do, and it's going to make a big impact for whatever design you're going for.
Finding our way back somehow.
I really like them. Right here is just a really good side-by-side. Both are beautiful. Love this. I've had it in 2 different houses. I still have it in our laundry room and bathroom. I just think for the kitchen, that's really pretty for the look we have going on. Okay, say you've switched up some of your decor and your budget's tight, or you have a $0 budget. All you have to do is spray paint the hardware you have. So maybe the style's fine, you just don't like the color. Definitely just grab a can of spray paint. You probably have some out in your garage already. I will say they make like a sealer coat. I would definitely get that and seal it just so the paint won't rub off, but that's another great affordable option as well.
Open my eyes and I put down my pride. I was holding you closer than anybody else.
So we're learning not all of these are the exact same gold. So we're just making sure the cabinets where the knobs are like right here side by side, we're making sure they're the same gold, because like stepping back you can't tell. It's just when they're like super close. So we're just being careful. It's one of the things you just have to be careful, because we bought them from the same store at the same time in the same bin. I don't know if you'll be able to tell up close. Let me get like out of my shadow.
These are really a different color down here than these over here.
So yeah, these, I mean, but if you can tell, it matches that well, where those don't match exactly the same. So maybe it's better since these are close. But like I said, from far away, you can't tell too much, but like in real life up close, if they're like side by side, you can tell somewhat of a difference.
Lights go out, it's you, babe. Every time I'm down, it's you, babe. Every night in my sleep.
Anytime you're doing a home project, I feel like there's always going to be something. So for us, it was that the gold was a little bit off, but we made it work. Maybe you didn't buy enough, or maybe the spacing was different. Just know going in, there's going to be a slight hiccup, just so you don't get overwhelmed when it's happening, especially if you don't love home projects and you don't do them often. Just know at least one thing's gonna go wrong, and it's okay. Prepare yourself for it. You'll fix it, you'll get through it, and you'll still be glad when the project's over that you took the time to do it. Now when it comes to your old hardware, say you bought new hardware, you didn't just spray paint it, you can either donate that and pass it along, or if you're on a tight budget, go ahead and sell it because someone else is going to want it, and then you can put that towards your next home project, or just knowing that will go back towards the new hardware that you bought. So keep that in mind. Sometimes home projects seem pricey, but if you can sell the items that you already have in your house that you're replacing, you can get some of that money back so your budget can go a little bit further. Also remember, you don't have to change it all at once, so just work on a small bathroom and then another bathroom and then maybe your kitchen, or just buy it ever so often and just hold it in a room. If it's a kitchen and you can't buy all the hardware at once, just buy it, hold on to it, and when you have it all, then you can install it then. The next thing I want to work on is just a really small home project. It's just basically switching out this sign right here. I've loved having it. I love the saying. Who knows, I may even put it somewhere else, but I was just wanting some artwork in here, so we're going to take that down. I've been looking everywhere for some type of art that I would like in there, and I actually stumbled across this at Target, and it's a set of 2, so I think it'll be really nice to add height in there because I can put them like on top of one another, not really like side by side. So I'm going to open these up and get them hung, and we can decide if we like it. I love these pictures, but they're just not going well in here because the harsh black, and it's such like a small area. So I've been taking like everything out, trying to figure out what I was gonna do. Taking this out just like changed everything. So I grabbed this plant for my bathroom. So I'm gonna try that in here. And maybe not hanging something, but it is like really tall and it will add something to the wall. So I really want this bathroom to be more organic, modern, and it's really hard to do in a tiny bathroom, but let's see if we can pull it off with just items I already have. I will say this like mini project turned a little bit bigger. It wasn't extreme, but I didn't end up liking the first artwork, so I ended up taking everything out so I could just have that clean slate. Sometimes you just need a fresh start, so take everything off the walls, take everything out, and then you can start over. Even using the pieces you already have, a lot of those may go back in, but at least you just kind of clear your head and you can see what you're working with. If it's just love in every glass I'm drinking. Another tip is to shop your house. If you're new here, you're gonna hear me say this a lot, and everybody that's been here is like nodding with me right now, but it'll save you so much money and time from driving back and forth. So shop your house before you ever walk into a store. You're here to stay every night and day. This is so much better. I just feel like it makes sense, it flows. I am short a plant now in my master bathroom, but that's gonna be another makeover one day in the future, but I'm happy with the way all that looks. I do have all of this left over now, so I'll have to decide what I need to do with it. I hope that you see from today's video, not all home projects have to be these huge makeovers and tons of power tools. Sometimes it's just getting stuff done around your house that needs to be done. But thank you guys all so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Make sure you subscribe here if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!